Hey guys, Guido here. Welcome to the Ultimate Mage Guide for Ascension, Warcraft Reborn. In this video, I'm going to be going over 3 great endgame PvP builds for mages, which includes an Arcane, Frost, and Fire build. Now, I've played all 3 of these myself, and they're all super fun builds that are highly viable in endgame PvP. We're going to go over these builds as well as the mystic enchants associated with them, where to get them, and some versatility options you can experiment with yourself to fit your own playstyle. We're also going to go over some Project Ascension specific tips and tricks that are unique to Project Ascension in order to min-max your skills so you can have the full mage toolkit at your disposal to just dominate in endgame PvP. Alright, so first things first, what you guys have been waiting for, the winner of the 30 DP giveaway has been chosen, and it is the Sour. He's the winner of our giveaway from last video. He got to pick out anything he wanted for 30 DP in the store, and he decided to choose Bizarre tokens because they were on sale, and a couple of reputation pots to round out the 30 DP. So big congrats, man. And don't worry if you didn't win, guys. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these giveaways and fun events in the near future. So if you're interested, just be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on them. Alright, so let's get down to the meat and potatoes since Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Let's start with Arcane. Now, this is insanely fun to play. It doesn't really get that well-rounded feeling until you hit 60 and grab Arcane Barrage. Then the entire spec changes into a full-blown Arcane Ramping Wrecking Ball. Your damage? Insane. Utility? Blink, slow, bye. Mana management? Yeah, you must be fresh out of AA classes because you're not even going to want to drink. You're going to be so full of mana all the time on this spec. It's crazy. After working the spec out, which took me quite some time to do since it offers such a different playstyle than what I'm used to with Fire and Frost, it's so satisfying just kiting people to death with slow and Arcane Barrage and watching the insane Touch of the Magi damage just stack up and wait for that massive AoE explosion to destroy everything in front of you like you're Thanos snapping your fingers.
I am inevitable.
So this is what we got for the Touch of Magi build here. So we got Touch, we got Infused Gems, it's a must. The rest of the stuff, if you need to, just feel free to pause to view it. Obviously, you can switch things up to your liking, but this is what I found works. And since people were asking, this is the spec that I use here. This is what I found works the best. And I will link it down below, as well as every other spec I'm going to showcase in this video, so you can just copy and paste it straight into the imports. As for where to get Touch of the Magi, you're going to want to go to Ajara here, and you're going to want to run just east of the trainer. You're going to see a little campfire with a guy. You're going to talk to the guy here, and he's going to teleport you right up top. And when you're up top, just follow the trail up. There's going to be a big mage tower up here at the top. And when you get to this mage tower, you are going to scale it, get to the very top of it. Then you're going to see this big magic wall. You're going to just blink. It's going to send you straight through it. Loot this book, and you're going to pick up the Touch of the Magi. And then you just stack as much damage up as possible on one target after you pop this, and watch them explode. It's very satisfying.
Until somebody builds a bigger one.
And so we did just that. Living Bomb to be exact. Because fire is absolutely insane. I mean, let's talk about a spec that's just the perfect combo of having massive burst, AoE spreading like wildfire, recovery mechanics from fiery paybacks, disarm, and blazing speed, the perfect CC util from Dragon's Breath and Blast Wave. Now, I'm sure you've queued up BGs and seen the mages at the top of the damage charts, and you're wondering, how? How, right? Well, between getting insta-pyroed for half your HP and scorched spam to death, there's Living Bomb. Now, unlike the limitation from Arcane's slow ability, Living Bomb can be spread to as many targets as possible to maximize damage. And if you spec into it, the ticks can even crit. But we're not going to do that. And you might ask, why, Guido? Why? Don't we want to maximize our damage across the whole board? No, not necessarily. The reason being is because we are going to run Hot Hands. Now, this is a hot take because of how strong Meteor is and Cremation can be, but while I think Meteor is pretty much S tier for high-risk PvP and one-on-one, it lacks the damage when spread between more than one target when compared to the proc rates of Hot Hands. Similarly, cremation is strong, but all it takes is a dispel, bubble, cloak, or block, and it's just fully negated. Hot Hands just offers us the strongest, well-rounded legendary option for any situation in PvP overall. Also, when the proc happens, this is why you want to run Altered Time, because you just alter and then you have the buff back to back. So you're just constantly spamming Pyroblasts off a cooldown at people and filling in the gaps with Fire Blast. And these are the Mystic enchants I'm running for fire. It's going to be Scorch, Evo, Counterspell, Altered Time. And going around, Fired Up, Flame On, Infused Gems, and Hot Hands. And just like with Arcane, this is the spec that I found worked the best for PvP with fire. And this is going to be linked below, and you could just copy paste it into the imports of your talent tree. As far as where you get Hot Hands RE, if you don't already have it, what you're going to want to do is go to STV. You're going to go to this area down south of the Gurubashi Arena, and you're going to find a bunch of quest givers, and go behind the little arena spot that they have, and you're going to see a bunch of Bloodsail mages. Now, these are the mages that are going to drop them. You're probably going to get them on like the second or third kill very, very quick. The drop chance is high, so you might even get this when you're leveling, and you don't even need to come back to get it. And of course, we can't forget Frost. Historically, Frost has been known for its ultimate control and utility, and lining up shatter combos. On Ascension, that's no different. Shatter combo is going to be your bread and butter here. However, the difference is that Shatter will affect all spells on Ascension, not just Frost ones. Which means that if your target's frozen, you're going to have a near guaranteed crit with Meteor, which is ironically what you're going to run for Frost spec in PvP here. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me here, but I think for Frost, it's important to keep 3-3 Blizzard because the AoE slow and Frostbite procs it gives is just crippling in BGs and group high risk, as well as Deep Freeze. Deep Freeze is just crazy good. You can't pass it up. It's 1 point. You might as well get it. You're not going to put that point anywhere else, really, that makes more sense than Deep Freeze. Also, obviously, having Cold Snap means you've got 2 ice blocks to play around with, which is always a huge bonus. And for Frost Mystic Enchants, we're going to have a Glyph of Blink here. Now, you can swap this out for a Glyph of Evocation if you'd like. I just like Blink because it gives you a little further range when you blink, obviously. But Evo is great too. Meditation, right? Altered Time, Torment the Weak, Clear Casting, CS, Infused Gems, Winter's Blaze, Stay Frosty, and Meteor, of course. And how you're going to get Meteor is you're going to go over here to Burning Steps. You're going to go to the southern part of the Blackrock Mountain over here. Talk to this quest giver here. He's going to give you a quest, and you are just going to do a little mini game here with the meteors. And once you get all 6 of these, you're going to be awarded the Meteor Mystic Enchant. And this is going to be my Frost spec. You want the 3 out of 3 Blizzard, you want the Shatter, you want the improved Water Elemental so you can get 2 freezes, and the rest of it's just pretty straightforward for PvP. Now, as I mentioned before, Ascension differs a bit from how game mechanics work as opposed to traditional Classic or Retail. These are going to be some tips and tricks I've picked up over the years. And starting off, it's going to be how scroll stacking works. So as we see here, I have a Scroll of Intellect 4 here that I'm going to use in conjunction with our Arcane Intellect that we automatically get, obviously. And these do stack on this server. So this is just an additional bonus of Intellect that you can throw on. And don't forget, you do have Wizard Oil, so you can get these on the auction house. Just an added bonus for spell power that you should probably use. And you have Wontons. Now, this food is unique to the server. There's different kinds. These are the best ones for spell power that I've found, as well as these unique distilled flasks that aren't on Retail or Classic, that you can craft them here with high-level mats that you get from high risk. Another thing that's unique to this server is that different types of waters obviously give different types of mana per second, right? We know this. So I've made a bunch of different waters here, all conjured. Now, the interesting thing is that you would think the higher level water is going to give you more MP5. That's not the case. Now, what you're going to find here is when I'm drinking these, see these are giving, 41 MP5 for this first one. Now we go to level 5. It's going to give a little bit more. Right, now you're going to notice a really interesting thing. Once we hit the level 25 water here, the MP5 is actually tapped out, and after that it kind of has a diminishing return. So we'll see that the level 25 water is actually better to drink up until the max level water, which is just really interesting because I've never seen this anywhere else. I'm not sure if it's a bug or if it's just unique to the server. So level 15 gives 118 mana per second, right? So it's going up 41 to like 80 to 118, and progressively what we're going to see is the 25 here is going to give 139 mana per second, right? Then it's going to drop down to 66 mana per second for the next one, which is crazy for the level 35 water to not be as strong as the one before. You know, I don't know if this is a bug or what, but this goes up to 45, right? And then it starts progressively going up, but it's still not as strong as level 25 water, right? So you have 98 mana per second for the next step up. And then finally, once you have the final step of the crystal water, right, level 55, then you have, well, the 140 mana per second. Now, I don't know if that's intentional, if that's a bug, if that's some UI error going on, you know, for everybody, but that's just something that I found, and it seems to work. So I've been getting a lot of questions lately about my nameplates and how I get them like that. This is just the default add-on, actually, or the default settings for Ascension. And how you can edit them, you can actually just go straight into interface here, right under this tab, and you are going to see the configure nameplates. Hit that, and you have a lot of options here that you can choose. If you just go over, then you can pick which tab you want to edit. It's very simple. People are familiar with other name add-ons, then it's no different. You can just edit the height and width here. You could edit show health text and everything right there. It's super simple to use. I just edited the height and width, and that's why mine looks so big, even though they're kind of like the default version of what they have. Alright, macros. Let me go over macros with you guys. So I have a few macros that I use here. A lot of focus macros, a lot of like 2-in-1 buttons, 3-in-1 buttons. A lot of mod shift at focus stuff, like this deep freeze, for example. So it's a normal deep freeze, and if you're holding shift on the key, then, you know, it goes to the focus target. Here's my elemental macros, just basic elemental macro stuff. IB with cancel. It's my IV macro, actually it's this one here. It's going to be Icy Veins, Blood Fury, Mana Ruby, and then my charm for the damage. Meteor is just spammable meteor, so you can just sit there and hit the button without it canceling it. Cone of Cold, same thing with the shift modifier. Blizzard, I have an armor all-in-one macro, so my armor here regularly is ice armor. I hold shift, it's mage armor. I hold control, it's molten armor. So over here we have a shift poly macro. I'm going to link all of these below. And I also have an AI macro that's the same thing with a brilliance and regular. And that's going to conclude the Mage Guide. I appreciate you watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed this, if it helped you in any way, just like and subscribe. Obviously, that helps the channel a lot. I really appreciate it. And we're going to do more giveaways. I'm going to be doing more videos and a lot more Ascension stuff, so stay tuned. Thanks, guys.